we're going to take a look at function callbacks, and the best way to do it nowadays in C++ is using std function. So what does that even mean? Well, without going into like the complicated definition, without talking about all this, even though that's something you're gonna have to like talk about at some point, basically it lets you store a function pointer, right? So if you come down into the example below, we've got this function called print_num, and down here we're using the std function, and we're saying the function I'm going to store in this variable, which is fDisplay, the pointer to the function I'm going to store, that function must return a void, so it doesn't return anything, and it must take in a parameter, a single parameter of integer type. Okay, and if you look at the print_num function up here, that fits the signature, which is it returns void, which is nothing, and it takes in a parameter of integer type. And so this fDisplay down here is basically storing a pointer to this print_num. So when you run fDisplay, it's basically running that function. Okay. So what do I mean by function pointer? If you don't know what that means, then let's take a look at it at an example here. I've opened from glfw. Don't worry about what that is if you don't know. But basically, down here it's defining a bunch of types of function pointer. So we're saying type def void, and then this is the name of that type that we are creating, and basically it's a function pointer that takes in these parameters. So it returns void, and it takes in these parameters of different types. So it's a custom type here, pointer to a custom type, and then two integers. So the function we're going to create of this type, basically, well, the pointer to the function that we're going to store of this type is gonna have these parameters of these type and a return type of void, and we're doing all of that here. But instead of doing it manually, like defining this type like this, we can instead use std function, which basically lets us do it on the spot without us having to define the type and all that stuff. Though sometimes defining the type is easier technically. You can just go do something like, let me pull that up. If I go in here, so I've got here using and some custom keyword, and then inside that we've got std function, and that basically tells us the function that the empty function that we're going to store is going to be returning void and going to take in a parameter of event type, whatever that is. So then, because we've used the word using, which is similar to using type def, we can then go and use this keyword as the type of function, as a type that takes in a pointer to a function that returns void and takes in an event. So down here we've used that. We've got const event callback function, and we're taking a pointer to a function that returns void and takes an event. Okay, simple. So